Hey, welcome back to my channel. It's Ark. Today we're going to be looking at the MK11 tier list post Aftermath with the addition, this is with the addition of Fujin, Shiva, and Robocop, the bottom three. So let's get into it. So first for Baraka, I'm going to put Baraka in B tier. I think he's good. Like, you can use him effectively, but I just think that he doesn't have a variety of movesets that can really mix up your opponent, like someone like a Joker or like a Geras or Sub-Zero. So I just think he's B tier. He's good, but not exceptional, you know? Now Cassie, I'm putting her in S. She has that annoying low projectile that gets me every single time. And her combos are pretty good, especially in that one variation that knocks you up with that low projectile. And her movesets have a lot of mix-ups, and she's just really annoying to play against. Cetrion, S tier as well. So Cetrion, I think, has one of the most annoying moves because you can't really see its range online, so it's hard to really punish it and then also just predict it. And her projectiles are really annoying. She has some pretty decent combos, but she's mostly just for mix-ups and just overall just a good character. Now, Devora, I'm gonna put her in C tier. I'm not going to put her in D tier because I don't think any characters in D tier, anyone can be effective with any character. But Devora just has a limited moveset. Some of her variations are okay, but I just think her combos are kind of weak and you can punish her really easily. She has some lows, like that one low that goes into the brutality, which is pretty cool. And then some overheads, but I just think there's better alternatives for her, and there's no reason to play her unless you're a really big fan of her. So Aaron Black, I think, is A tier. He was S tier at the start of the year, but now I think he's A tier because he's pretty advanced. His combos are kinda hard for the average player, so I wouldn't. So someone like a Cassie or a Cetrion, someone can pick them up pretty easily, but Aaron, you can't really. And I just think he can be abused sometimes if you make a mistake, like with his running jump kick, you know, with both his legs, or like his slide. You can just punish that real quick and you're done. Frost, I'm putting A tier as well. Frost, I think, has really good moves, like her forward 2, I think, with those, she lunges with her spikes. That's a pretty annoying move, but overall I just think she's A tier. I don't think she's exceptional, but I think she's still really good, and you can use her at any level and still be effective with her. So Geras is definitely S tier. Buffs too after Aftermath, so he's really good now. His like sand trap from the floor where he teleports and hits your neck, that's an armor breaking move now, so that's even crazier. That was always super annoying, but now he can catch you with that even when you break away. So he's just crazy. He has so many crushing blows, he has so many mix-ups, he can just do everything. Jackie, S tier as well. She's probably one of the top 3 most annoying players to go against in Kombat League. She has a bunch of combos. She can also semi-zone, but really it's that pressure that she brings, like in the close range and even mid range, so she is S tier. Jade, also S tier. She also got buffs like Geras after Aftermath, and she is even crazier now because her projectile variation, the one where she can jump and throw her projectile, has a low projectile, high projectile. She can combo with that to like 35% or something like that. That's crazy because I think her IP girl where she has the double overhead, that has more gravity now, so she can combo way easier and way longer. So now she can zone you and combo you, so she's just crazy. Jax, I think is A tier. Jax is really good for pressure, but in that like mid-range, kind of semi-long range, he's kind of hard to use because you can abuse him from there if you have a quicker projectile or like a longer range mid. So I just think that's what holds him back from S tier. Johnny, I don't do very well with Johnny, but I've seen a lot of people do very well with Johnny. So I think he is S tier. Well, he may not be my S tier. I know he's really good, so I'm just putting him up in S tier. He has a lot of good mix-up, great combos, and is just really good. I'm just not a big fan of him, but he's still S tier. Cabal, he's one of my favorites, but I have to put him A tier. He can get punished really easily if you mess up your dash into them. You know, the speed dash, that can get punished real easily. While most of his moves are pretty safe, I think he just isn't on the level of S tier, but he's still really good. I use him a lot, but I just don't think he's like crazy. Kano, I'm gonna put him in B tier. Well, in like lower competitive levels, he's really good because he has so much pressure and so many command grabs. In higher tiers, he can get abused pretty easily with his Kano ball if he mistakenly uses that. And I just think he's on the level with Baraka. With that, his combos are okay, but really it's just that pressure he brings, which you can abuse sometimes. Kitana, I think, is A tier. I think it's great that her tornado doesn't let you break away instantly. So that's really good. You can always get that uppercut in. And all of her movesets are really good. A lot of overheads, lows. And then she also has some crushing blows and pretty good zoning. So I just think she's overall a really good player. It's just she isn't S tier because she's not really scary to play against. Because, I don't know, there's just something about her. You can always punish her pretty easily if you just block her moves. Collector, I think, is B tier. Collector is good, but I think his moves are too predictable. You know when they're lows, you know when they're highs, and usually they're pretty low, so I just think he's not really hard to beat once you figure out his moves. Total Kahn, I think, is B tier. I haven't played with him a lot recently, but I used to play him a fair amount, and I think he's really fun, but not like good for competitive games online. So I just don't think his moves are safe enough for the reward. The reward is enough for the risk for this character. Kronika, I'll just put in D because you can't even play her. Kung Lao, A, definitely. He has some cool combos, some great mix-ups, but really, once you get to know Kung Lao, he really does the same thing every single time. he just does the forward 4 into the tornado, into another tornado, and then whatever comes after, maybe his jump down 4 for that combo ender, but once you block that, it's pretty easy to beat him. Now Liu Kang is definitely S tier. I've seen people like Ninja Killer use him a lot in competitive games and they destroy people. So I think Liu Kang is definitely S tier because of all his crushing blows, his parry, and just his mix-ups. So Nightwolf, I think is A tier. I think Nightwolf is kind of a similar Kung Lao, because Nightwolf has some good overhead while his main one is kind of slow. His combos are pretty good, and I just feel like his mix-ups are kind of predictable after he does them a few times on you. So I just think he's A tier, not quite S tier. Same thing with Noob. I think he's A tier. Noob has a lot of good different movesets, but his teleport is a very vital part of his kit, and I think he can get punished so easily off that the reward is not enough for the risk. And I just see a bunch of players just teleport in and get punished instantly, so it's kind of a trap. Noob is kind of a trap for beginner players. So I just think once you stop that teleport, you can mess him up pretty easily and pretty bad, and they can't do anything about it. So Raiden, I think is I'll put him in B tier. I haven't played with him much. I haven't seen much play, but I know he got some new buffs. Maybe he'll be A tier once I get to know him better, but I just think he's still B tier. He has some pretty good lows and then that overhead he has, but I still think he can get punished pretty easily and just isn't up to that A or S tier. Same thing with Scorpion. Scorpion, once you get down his like low-high move, it's pretty easy to stop a Scorpion because the rest of his moves kind of rely on that one move, and his teleport can get punished really easily. So once you mess that up, you're gonna get a big combo from the other person. That is why he is B tier. So Shang Tsung, I think, is B tier as well. He is good. I think he's fun, especially that ninja variation. But I just don't see him as like a top tier character, because one of his main overheads is pretty slow, and you can see it from like a mile away. He's like running up to you doing his overhead, so I just think one of his main moves kind of limits him from being a really good character. So Shao Kahn, I'm gonna put him A tier. I was just playing against the Shao Kahn, and I noticed his buffs from that move where he hits you up with his hammer. That move can be done like 4 times in the corner. He can get crazy amounts of damage on you now for just 1 meter or 2. He can get up to 40% or 50 even in the corner. So he's just a crazy damage outputter. You can output so much damage if you mess up. So I think he's A tier, but he still heavily relies on that low move set where it's like he does those 2 low kicks. If you just crouch down and block, you can pretty much beat all of his combo starters because that's his main one. Skarlet I think is B tier. Skarlet has many gaps in her moves. While she did get buffed, they're not the buffs that would make her A tier or S tier, I don't think, because you can punish those gaps doing maybe a down one. I don't know, you can flawless block it. So I think online, while that is hard, I think you can still manage to do it because of how many she has. In almost all of her moves she has gaps. So Sonya, I think she's B tier now. Her nerfs did kind of mess her up, so she would have been A or S like at the start of the year. But now with her nerfs, I just don't see her as a great player anymore, a great character anymore, because of her nerfs and her lack of mix-ups and combos. So Sub, he's my main, so I gotta put him in S tier. Especially online, he's definitely S tier. His overhead, his forward 2-4 is so annoying, and then he has that low, and mostly all of his moves can special cancel into that ice ball, which he just gets a nice reset and can just calmly do his combo right after. It's just so annoying for the other player, and I mean that's kind of why I play him, but he's S tier for me. Terminator, he's A tier. He's kind of on the same level of Shao Kahn. He has those great mix-ups, like those overheads. He has a bunch of overheads, some lows, and then he has a lot of combo extenders with his air grab, like Shao Kahn. And I just think he's overall just a good character. He's just not S tier because if you block one of those mix-ups that he has coming for you, you can punish them real easily. So I just think that's why he's A tier. Sindel is B tier. I think Sindel can only really do a few certain moves to really get you, and it's that like somersault kick, and then maybe that low, the low where she pops you up. Those are really annoying, but the rest is pretty manageable, and while her combos are really good in each variation, I just think people drop it too often in online, and she's just pretty easy to break away from, even with her armor breaking move. Joker is definitely S tier. His mix-ups are crazy. He has zoning, he has combos, he just has everything. It's just so annoying to play against a good Joker player. Spawn, I love Spawn, but I think he's B tier. Spawn for me is he's good, but he only has that one pop-up overhead that once you get used to, you can block that pretty easily, and then the rest are kind of mids, and then he has that one low kick. But most Spawn players go for that overhead pop-up, which you can punish pretty easily. Now for the Aftermath characters, I'm putting Fujin. I'll put him B tier. I don't know if he's B or C, but I just feel like you can break out of his moves so many times, it's kind of crazy. And his combos are pretty difficult and not very worth it. I mean, they do get 30%, but that's spending like 1 or 2 bars, mostly 2, to help you complete the combo, actually complete the combo. So I just think he's B tier because his zoning is okay, his close pressure is okay, and then his best attribute, the mid-range, is good, but I don't know, he just seems easy to mess up. So Shiva, I think she's just a worse Shao Kahn and Terminator. She has a lot of combos that she can do in each variation, a lot of grabs, obviously, but I don't know, maybe it's just because of the hype, but a lot of people just blindly use her dragon drop, her signature teleport slam, and that can be punished so easily, and the rest of her moves are kinda slow. She has good mix-ups, but I just think Shao Kahn and Terminator are better, so I can't put her with them. I think RoboCop is actually A tier. I know his combos aren't like crazy, but his zoning is so annoying, especially in the second variation, and he does have some good combos, and his throws are crushing blows, I mean just like Fujin, but his are really good because they kick you far away from him so he can zone you again, and he actually has a lot of mix-ups, and I think he's about the same with Terminator. So that wraps up my list. These are my S tier. I only have one C tier, Devora. Kronika doesn't count, no one's in D tier, and that's it. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, and if you stayed for the whole video, you guys the real ones.
Big addition.